Welcome to Lesson 07. This is where the whole course converges. The previous 6 lessons handed you the tools. This one assembles them into a single printable project plan. 8 stages, 8 deliverables, 8 gates, 1 named owner per stage. Print it, hand it to your PMO, and hit your dates. Here's what you're walking away with. 4 skills, each one converting a fuzzy migration phase into a work stream with a deliverable attached. First, the 8-stage architecture and why that number. Each stage yields 1 artifact, 1 owner, 1 gate. Second, accountability through a RACI per stage. Third, exit criteria written down, so advance is measurable, not a feeling. And fourth, time estimates drawn from real corporate migrations, typically 1 to 3 weeks per stage, which you multiply by fleet size to size the whole project. So here's the whole playbook on 1 page. 8 stages, each with a named owner, a concrete deliverable, an exit gate, and a day count. Assess and refactor are your long poles at 5 days each. Deploy and verify collapse to a single day because the heavy thinking already happened upstream. Read it like a Gantt. Sequential execution, parallel planning. Hand it to your PMO, and your stakeholders finally see what migration in progress actually means. Stages 1 and 2 are where you replace assumptions with measurements. Assess means inventory.ch on every server, not a sample every server, classified, owned, and published as inventory.csv. Translate runs iptables restore translate, commits the raw output to Git, and tags each rule, trust, review, or rewrite. The discipline here is restraint. Do not refactor yet. You are producing a faithful mechanical draft, nothing more. Now the work gets interesting. Refactor is where you finally unleash the Lesson 06 toolkit. Collapse repeated patterns into sets, swap hash limit for named meters, move from IP to inet, strip counters off the hot paths. But stay disciplined. A 2-element set is not a refactor, it's noise. Then review is where engineering meets the org. 2 senior reviewers on the diff, security signs off on SOC2 and PCI, architecture confirms the standard, ops understands the rollback, and every approval lives in the ticket. No paper trail, no gate passed. With approvals in hand, you move to stage. Deploy to a non-prod box that actually matches prod, run synthetic traffic per rule, diff the counter increments against production, and let it bake for a full 24 to 48 hours. The deliverable is stagetest-report.md. Without it, you don't pass the gate. Then deploy, and deploy like a professional. Schedule the window with ops, canary 1 server for 1 hour, watch the dashboards, and only then roll out in batches of 10 with rollback armed at every step. No full fleet on day 1. No deploys on Friday afternoon. Deploy isn't done. Stage 7 is verify. Observe. Don't assume. Watch SLOs for a full 24 hours, compare counter increments chain by chain, tail the logs for quiet drops, and actually ask the app teams if anything broke. The deliverable is verifyreport.md. Then Stage 8, archive, the one everyone skips. Write the runbook, document your set and map editing procedures, train the on-call team in a 1-hour session, update vendor and audit docs, and run the post-mortem. Skip archive, and your next migration starts from 0. So why 8 stages? Not 3, not 15. 3 principles hold this structure together. First, each stage produces exactly 1 artifact. If there's nothing you can show, it isn't a stage. Second, gates are written, not felt. Advance is binary, measurable, provable. Felt readiness is how projects slip. And third, the sequence itself enables rollback. Every gate is a save point. Skip a stage, and you've thrown 1 away. Save points only matter if someone owns them. This is your RACI. 8 stages, 1 accountable name per row, no ambiguity. Notice the shifts. SRE lead signs off most stages, but refactor moves to the tech lead, and review and archive escalate to the engineering manager. Print it, map your actual names against it, and surface the gaps now, not the morning of cutover. Now we put it to work. 3 drills, just over 2 hours total, and you walk out with a real plan, not a template. Drill 1. Take the Lesson 3 timeline, swap in your team's actual names, and scale the durations to your fleet size. Drill 2. Write 8 exit criteria sharp enough that a stranger could verify them. Drill 3. Map the RACI to real people and escalate every gap before kickoff, not after. Before you run those drills, learn from the teams who've stumbled. 5 mistakes turn this structure into noise. Skipping stages to save time, you lose the artifact that unblocks the next gate. Combining stages because they feel related, now you can't tell which change broke prod. RACI with role names instead of people, work never starts. Verbal gate approvals, no audit trail when someone asks who signed off. And skipping the archive, 6 months later, on-call has 0 context. Catch these at kickoff, not at week 6. That's Lesson 07 in the bag. 8 stages mapped, owners assigned, RACI built, gates written down. The plan is a project, not a checklist, and it's ready to hand to your PMO. Next up, Lesson 08, compatibility and coexistence. We'll look at the iptables NFT compat layer on RECL 8 and up, legacy scripts running alongside NFT natives, and what migrating actually means when the old tools still work. See you there.